Hey Dylan, I'm Mike Connor. Good to meet you. Virtual
Okay.
handshake. As I said, I'm over the phone call. I'm with American Income Life and Division of Globe, and we spoke about the benefits yesterday. Um, I have your benefits here, and I'd really love that we have using Zoom. It makes it a lot faster, and so don't worry, I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. Um, So let me go ahead and get started. While I get this set up, let's learn a little bit about each other. This is kind of where she goes sideways. How long have you lived in the area?
Probably about 8 or 9 years.
Okay, cool. Do you have any family here in Texas?
Yeah, I've got my dad and stepmom about 45 minutes from me, and then my mom and stepdad live in Fort Worth.
Okay, good, good. All right, good. So your mom and stepdad in Fort Worth.
hmm
How old are they?
They're, I want to say my mom actually turns 55 this month.
Okay,
I think my stepdad's around there, 53, 54, somewhere in there.
all right. And how about your father and your stepmom?
They're in the Abilene area, and let's see, my dad is 65, he's 58 this year.
Okay. And what about your stepmom? Do you know about how old she is by chance?
Um, Somewhere same in there. I'm not too sure.
Okay, okay. Any kids for
Nope, no
you?
kids.
No kids? Okay. All right. So what kind of work do you do?
I'm in sales.
Okay. All right, fantastic. What's the name of the company that you work for?
It's a uh, car dealership, Chevrolet dealership.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. You're in the sales aspect of it?
Yeah, yeah. I'm the sales manager.
Okay, cool. How's work going?
I started to pick back up finally.
Oh, good, good. How long have you been doing that in this automobile sales?
About 4 years now.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So do you have a lot of friends at work?
Yeah, actually, one of my buddies got me the job.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well,
It's
that's awesome.
kind of a smaller dealership. So I mean, there's not, you know, too many of us, but there's probably about 5 or 6 somewhere in there.
Okay. Do y'all hang out on the weekends? Do things on the weekends?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Probably don't want to spend too much time with them on the weekends since you already spend time with them at work, right?
Exactly, exactly.
I get you. Any other interesting things that you like to do on the weekends besides work all the time?
Uh, no, I mean I like hunting and working out, but that's taking care of my yard. That's about it.
Oh, okay, awesome. So what made you get, let's go back to the car sales because that's interesting. What made you get into the car business?
I just something about wanting to get in sales. I've always heard that um the more the people make quite a bit of money in sales, and so I just wanted to try it out.
Okay, awesome, awesome. That's cool. So, I'm sure that you want to know why I'm here, and so to tell you exactly why I'm visiting with you is it's my job to go over the no cost benefits for you. Okay. That basically have already been set up. And then I'm going to go over some additional benefits with you that you might qualify. And so, my company, American Income, works with over 20,000 local unions, credit unions, associations throughout the United States, okay? And, look, whether you like unions or you don't, the thing everyone agrees with is that they have the best benefits. A big reason for that is because their relationship with American Income for over 60 plus years, as you can imagine, they have me running around a little crazy. So let me go ahead and get started and jump into the no cost benefits first. Okay.
Hey, Mike, are you gonna try and sell me something?
I just want to go over the benefits with you, the no cost benefits, and I'll show you some additional things that you might qualify for or not. And if you decide you want them, great. If you don't, that's okay too. You know.
Okay.
Your first no cost benefit, which if you had kids, let me start over. Sitting here going through the child safety kit. Okay, so Dylan, the first benefit to you, the no cost benefit, is our AIL plus discount card. And how your benefits work through work, you're going to absolutely love this. I'm sure you know by now that you can't rely on your group benefits since you don't control them, and they can certainly change at any time. So this no cost benefit will help with some of those gaps by giving you up to 85% discount on things like dental, vision, prescription drugs, hearing aids, telemedicine, and chiropractic services. Your membership requires an annual renewal, and that's also at no cost to you. Okay. We'll let you know when it's time to renew. You think you won't even have to think about it. People always tell me that they didn't think they'd use it very much and find themselves using it all the time. Again, it's no cost. It's good to get extra peace of mind. You'll receive an activation email within the next few days, and so be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
Just to kind of give you an idea as far as benefits, from a retail pharmacy, you can save, between 10 and 85% if you go mail order, 10 to 60%, plus you get free shipping. Prescription glasses, this is coast to coast, 20 to 60% off. You can get laser surgery between 20 and 50% off if you need some eye work. Chiropractic services up to 50% off, and treatment up to 30% off. Diabetic supplies, between 10 and 50% off plus free shipping. So it's got a lot of great values. I personally use it myself. Otherwise, I'd have to take out a second mortgage.
I hear you. I hear that.
And additionally, let me go back to a couple of things here. So you get also a accidental death certificate. This is no cost certificate for accidental death and dismemberment. Joe, this is a living benefit. I'm sorry, Dylan, this is a living benefit that pays you $2,000 for the loss of one hand, 1 foot, or the sight of one eye, and double that amount, or $4,000 for any loss of any two. If you decide that you get married, then you will also have, your spouse can be covered as well. If you were to die and you were married, then your paycheck wouldn't have to. It wouldn't be hurt. Okay. Let me go ahead and email you a certificate for your records, and you'll receive a green certificate in the mail, and you will fill it out completely, send it to the PO box at the top to ensure you're covered.
Okay.
As far as emergency contacts for their accidental death and dismemberment certificate, there's one more thing that I need to cover. In the event that you do die in a common accident, it'd be wise. Who would be your first emergency contact?
It'd probably be my mom.
Okay. And when it happens, now when something happens, you're going to need our local office number. If you can grab your phone real quick, and then I'll give you the phone number.
Okay.
It's 832-327-0800. So
Okay.
your family gets the money that they're entitled to. I'm also going to be calling your emergency contacts personally, so they know what to do in the event of a claim. If you could, please give them a heads up that they'll be hearing from me. In addition, if they choose, they can also have access to this thanks to you. Now, Dylan, this policy is just on you, but the second part of the benefit is that you can extend it to your closest family members and friends at no cost to you or them. So how this works? Let's say, God forbid, your mom's in a accident and she were to die. A $2,000 policy, just like yours, will pay out at no cost to you or them. All you're doing is giving them the option to take advantage of it, just like you did. The ability to extend this is tied to my visit with you today because of your enrollment period. So it's important not to prejudge anyone's situation, just let them decide for themselves, obviously. Now, they can give you $20,000 worth of this benefit, which means you can extend it up to 10 families. Obviously, your emergency contacts will automatically be included. So the names of the contacts are already taken care of. That leaves you with 8 more. You mentioned that you had some suggestions in relation to friends and family, maybe some coworkers. Let's give this to a few of them. And who would that be?
Mike, I don't really feel comfortable giving out numbers before I talk to them. If there's a way that I can get your phone number and I can reach out to them, and once I talk to them, I can send you their number.
Okay, I can understand how you feel. As a matter of fact, a lot of members have felt that way. It's difficult to know, which companies you can trust and which you can't. But let me ask you, do you think 20,000 groups would choose one insurance company over all of the others to advise their members if they didn't trust that company?
No, probably not.
Of course not. You received a letter, and when you receive the letter, you return the card. The people you sponsor into the program will receive a phone call instead of a letter, and they can choose if it's right for them or not. Let's give them an option to decide, and if it's something that they want for their family, if it's not what they're interested in, that's okay. But what I have found is that the members that are sponsored into the program love the program even more because they normally wouldn't be able to get it. Now, you said you had a brother. Let's start with them.
Okay. Yeah, his name is Jack.
And we just go down the. So make sure you get. Okay, Dylan. So a little homework. Make sure that you give the families you're extending the no-cost benefits to a call or a text, letting them know that I'm going to be calling them in the next couple of days. As long as they have a heads up, they're going to be really happy. But if I call them and they don't know who I am or why I'm calling, sometimes they get a little confused and they're going to be upset with me and you. So please, please, please let them know. Can you make sure?
Yeah, I can do that.
Cool. All right, Dylan. Now I'm going to jump into reviewing the exclusive benefits that you must qualify for. All of the families that I see love this part of the program, and it's why 20,000 different groups have handpicked American Income to handle their permanent and portable benefits for the past 60 years. So first, let's start with the needs analysis. I've got needs analysis software. The reason why people don't have the right coverage is they don't know what they need. In the next few minutes, I'll review this with you, and you can definitely know where you're at. I'm going to ask you a few questions to see where you are. Before I do that, let me show you my license information here for the state of Texas. Okay. So you know that I'm a licensed professional to handle these kinds of benefits. And before I jump into the survey, I have three preliminary qualifications to review with you. You must be a member of an authorized group or sponsored in by someone who is. You must have an active checking account or bank card or credit union, or with a credit union. Have you or anyone in the household been diagnosed with COVID-19 in the past, or if so, when?
No, I haven't.
All right, so, okay, so Dylan, first we're going to start with monthly income. The biggest concerns families deal with when it comes to handling is affordability. They have set this up to where your concerns would be based around 1 hour's wage per week. To make sure it's accurate, what is a ballpark figure of your monthly income?
I'd say about 5,000.
Okay. Okay. For funeral or cremation, I know this isn't a typical family dinner conversation, but have you decided or discussed who would be going to your funeral or cremation?
No.
Okay. So benefits outside of work. I know a lot of families, I see a lot of families, and some of them will get life insurance outside of work because you know what happens to the group benefits, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. You don't have, do you have life insurance outside of work?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, that's good. So how much coverage and how do you pay for it?
I would say I think work just got us set up on pretty much just a burial coverage, so 10 or 15,000, and then it just comes out of my check every month.
Okay. And when did you get it?
Probably, I guess 90 days after I started, so 4.5, 5 years ago.
All right, great. All right, I know exactly what that is. Okay. Do you get death benefits through work?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm very familiar with how they work. Did they let you, well, see? Can we stop that for a second? So that, okay, Dylan, so I see a lot of families and some of them get life insurance outside of work because you know what happens to group benefits, right?
No, I don't.
Well, generally group benefits, they cover a certain amount, their term life, so if you decide to leave, they don't go with you, they stay with, so when you leave, you're exposed. You expose
Oh, okay.
yourself, you can expose your family, right? So that's kind of the whole reason why we don't want all that exposure. Do you know about how much coverage that you paid for?
Maybe 10 or 15. I'm not really sure.
Okay, okay, all right. I think I know exactly what you have, what you got. And do you know about how long ago you got it?
It was a little after I started,
Okay. And that was, would you say how long ago?
probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. Now, aside from the life insurance part of it, for the group benefits, do they give you a death benefit as well?
Maybe.
Okay, okay. And did you pick it out or did they just hand it to you?
Probably just I didn't really have a choice. It was just whatever they offered. It's kind of
Okay,
what I.
okay, I get it. So you live wherever do you rent or are you buying your house?
I'm buying.
Okay, perfect. So what do you think the balance on your home is right
Uh, Probably 197.
now? Okay, did you do that on a 15, 25, or 30-year mortgage?
I think we did a 25.
As far as debt, and aside from the house, what do you say you have?
Um, oh, there might be a couple. I know I got my pickup. Maybe a credit card or two.
Like 30 grand?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a mandatory read off letter I gotta go with you. So before I go any further, it looks like the needs analysis found some gaps in your coverage. So I have a mandatory read off letter for you. And it explains how an enrollment process works. Um, so Dylan, instead of reading this whole thing, just let me summarize it for you. What it basically is saying is that if, as I'm going through the benefits, you're nodding your head like, yeah, I want it, thinking, wow, these are some great benefits, and I can see that 20,000 groups have approved this and why everyone is doing it, then I'm going to go ahead and ask you to apply today. On the flip side, if I'm going through the benefits and you're thinking to yourself, these are really some great benefits, but they don't feel a need for me and my family right now, I'm actually gonna go ask you not to apply. Either way, yes or no, that decision does not have to be made today during your service period. In fairness to all other members waiting to enroll, you'll see what they did. Is this set up? It's set up to be a no-brainer. It's going to be easy, really a easy yes or no. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So whatever you do decide, they do want you to give your opinion in a Google review, which is sort of like my report card. Okay. I try to get a 5-star rating every time I do this. So it's important to stop me if you have any questions. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So Dylan, will you stop me if you have any questions?
Sure. Yep.
All right, perfect. Okay, Dylan, as you know, over the years, through contract negotiations and benefit changes at work, it's it's give and take. Lately, it seems like we're paying more, a lot more, but getting a lot less. The company has a labor advisory board with 50 international union presidents, whose main job is to provide the best wages and benefits for their members. From their feedback, along with feedback from members like you, they came up with a list of concerns. And those apply to all working families, whether union or not. The first concern is copays, deductibles, and lost wages. How's your health insurance work through work?
It's all right.
Okay. Well, no matter how good it is, there are always some gaps that aren't covered. Doctors and hospitals are doing great. Have you seen doctor's parking lot yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But when you when you or someone in your family is hurt or injured, then there are a lot of lost wages as well as some out-of-pocket expenses that health insurance doesn't cover. The next concern is funeral and final expenses. Have you ever dealt with a funeral?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Whose funeral was it, may I ask?
It was my grandfather's last September.
Gotcha. What was it like?
It was, it was tough. But we made it through it.
Yeah. Do you know the average cost of funerals now? Cost of funeral nowadays?
I want to say his was like 18.
Yeah, that's right. It's 10,000 or more. In Texas, on average, all things considered, it is costing at least 14,000. If less than 10,000, yeah. Yep. So Texas on average, all things considered, yeah, funeral homes want their money immediately. And this creates a lot of stress on surviving family members. Most families don't have that kind of money laying around. And even if they did, they don't want to, they didn't set it aside for that. The next concern is paycheck loss. Obviously, no matter how great your benefits are through work, they don't or they won't keep a paycheck coming in to the home. This is a huge concern for surviving spouse and children. The next concern is your mortgage or rent. Aside from the emotional trauma that an unexpected death can cause, having having to have the surviving spouse or kids move out from their home makes everything so much worse. They wanted to make sure that you wouldn't happen to families that we visit with. The next concern would be terminal illness such as cancer. Right now in the United States, for men, there's a 1 in 2 chance of developing or dying from cancer. For women, it's 1 out of 3 until the age of 65, and then it's 1 out of 2. In the leading cause of bankruptcy due to illness, and it is the leading cause of bankruptcy due to illness, and it's devastating to the families. The next concern is with your group benefits. Group benefits are for a group, but individuals all have different needs. Most importantly, you can't rely on your group benefits because you don't own those benefits. Believe it or not, aside from retirement, people can lose benefits if they are unemployed or if they have a long illness before death. They wanted to make sure that you had permanent benefits that weren't tied to your workplace. And let's go back. Shit. Where am I? So the final concern is affordability. The last concern, as I said, is affordability. So now to take care of all the list of concerns, it's usually just way too expensive. Since we sit down with people making $7 an hour and some making $77 an hour, some are working tons of overtime, some are retired, or some are laid off. Regardless of the situation, they wanted this to be affordable for everybody. The way they set it up, Dylan, just imagine your boss comes to you at work and tells you that because things have been going so well, they would start paying you for 41 hours instead of 40. Now, with that hour, are you going to tell your wife it's time for matching Ferraris?
No.
Are you going to call your travel agency and book the dream vacation? Start construction on your dream home?
No, probably not.
Of course not. Now, on the flip side, let's say work's a little slow and your boss comes up and tells you that instead of laying you off and some of your coworkers off, they would just send you and everyone else home an hour early on Friday. So you'd be working 39 hours instead of 40. Would you get rid of your car or your cell phone, cancel your TV subscription?
No.
Exactly. The idea is that 1 hour isn't going to change your lifestyle. That's why they set it up this way. So let me show you how you can take one of those hours and take care of your concerns.
Okay.
So if it helps, I'll use an illustration to show you what's been set up for you. So Joe, let's imagine right now okay, so Dylan, let's imagine that you go into work tomorrow and right now let me say job A, which is the job right here on the left, you're making $14.75 a week. And let's say that another job opens up, and we'll call that job B. With job B, you have the same group benefits, same coworkers, same responsibility, same everything. The only difference is the income. So instead of $14.75 a week, you're making $14.35 a week, which is about 1 hour's wage difference, which, like I said before, wouldn't change anything for you. So they took an hour that didn't mean much and they decided to put it towards something that would, which is handling these concerns in a very simple and straightforward way. So the first benefit covers your entire family due to any sort of accident. Like I said before, health insurance and group benefits are great, but they don't cover everything. This program covers you up to $100 every time you go into the doctor. Urgent care or hospital or any accident or injury, whether it's a bump, a bruise, or a bee sting, even if you end up overnight in the hospital, it pays $200 a day, and double that for intensive care, $400 a day. So let's say you have an accident and end up in the hospital for 5 days. By having this in place, it'd pay you $1,000 tax-free. Considering that you're not working and making money, this money would help take care of your bills.
Okay.
On top of that, you'll get $10,000 worth of loss of a hand, a foot, or sight in one eye, and double that, or $20,000 for loss of any two. The last part of this benefit provides additional $20,000 to $100,000 worth of accidental death benefit, depending on the type of accident. As you can see with your current job, none of this is covered.
Yep.
The next concern has to do with your funeral and final expenses. There's 100% chance that you'll use this one. The Freedom of Choice certificate, which I've got right here, will take care of the financial burden so your family, they don't have to. The Freedom of Choice has already been set up in every funeral home. Your Freedom of Choice certificate is worth $30,000. The funeral home director will simply call the number on the front of the certificate, and American Income will take care of everything for you and sending the remaining money to your family member tax-free. They are using a permanent benefit to fund your freedom of choice. That way it's there when or if not, your family needs it. So on the worst day of your life, that would be, yeah. So anyway, right now, you don't have anything like this in place. Now, after a few weeks go by, aside from, oh, this is, can we stop for a second? Oh, my God. All right, the next thing people want secured for their family is their home. That's exactly why the benefit software is recommended mortgage or rent protection. Your program includes $100,000 of coverage for you, Dylan. Statistically, if you were to die during your work hours, it's probably not going to be a health issue like a stroke or heart attack. It'd probably be due to an accident. So this is funded by an additional death benefit to save you money. Right now, with your current job, they aren't going to pay for your mortgage or when something happens, but this does. The next concern, the benefit software found, no, that's college fund, never mind, no college writer, terminal illness. Another important feature of this program is that if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness such as cancer, you can access half of your freedom of choice and income protection benefit while you're alive. They're providing you with $65,000 for this fund. So Dylan, this gives you the chance to put your family in the best situation financially if you get the worst news imaginable. The remainder of the benefit would pay out to your family as a death benefit. Your current benefits don't provide anything there. As you can see, they thought of pretty much everything.
Mhm.
Unlike your group benefits, which you can lose, these benefits are permanent and portable. So if you leave your job, you retire or leave the union, you get to keep these. In addition, if you on a qualified layoff, they will cover your benefits for 3 months or up to 3 months. If you're ever in a situation where you have a qualified strike, it's up to 12 months. This way, you and your family won't lose the benefits that when you really need them the most. By the way, you've never had to pay that. You'd never have to pay that back. So Dylan, now that I've reviewed everything with you, I'm sure you can see why 20,000 groups chose this program above all the others, and why families have all of their programs. More families have our programs than any other company. Because of the value and the full circle of protection it provides. I mean, Dylan, if something were to happen to you, like a bad car accident, your family would receive, let's see, about 150, what was 150, was it 150,000? So Joe, or Dylan, so you would be 100 plus 50, 150, 20, 370,000 tax-free for all about an hour's wage per week. With your current job, there's no guarantee that your family would receive anything at all. So Dylan, if you went back to work tomorrow and you had a choice between job A or job B, which one would you take?
Job B.
Okay. That's what everybody says. It's pretty much a no-brainer. So everyone wants the benefits, but not everyone can get the benefits. So as I mentioned before, I do have to get you qualified first. So let me run through these questions and let's see if you qualify. Okay, so have you been treated or advised to be treated for alcohol or alcohol abuse, including AA, or been advised by a physician to reduce alcohol consumption? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Have you used marijuana in the past year?
No, I have not.
Okay. So Dylan, I'm not an underwriter, but based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like I should be able to get you qualified for the benefits. This is a QR checklist, which is a mandatory checklist that we review with all of our members. It explains the enrollment process. The first thing the checklist talks about is the way the benefits are handled. Okay. Okay, Dylan, now we're going to go over a couple of dates. This program is set up once a month for a computerized deduction through your banking system. Having it done this way gains you this discounted rate. Your program is only $135 per month. This can be handled anytime between the 5th and 25th of the month. What date is best for you?
Let's just do the 5th.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Because of so we're going to use 6-5. So because this is a member-owned program, and once it's issued, it cannot be taken away by American Income or your employer. There is an application process which we started with the health questions. In addition, this will be signed electronically. So after we complete the application, you will receive an email with DocuSign or have remote access through Zoom, to which you can confirm the accuracy of the information and that you're signing, that you're agreeing to electronically sign these applications, just if it was your own signature. How long will it take? The enrollment process usually takes anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks. You will receive your policies in the mail and a congratulatory letter within welcoming you to AIL. If for some reason you were denied, you will receive today's deposit back, and you may write American Income to request an explanation. Obviously, these benefits are conditionally covered from the moment our call ends. So the first bank draft happens immediately within 24 to 48 hours of the application. Your bank may not reflect the draft for up to 10 days, so please be sure the funds stay in there in order to ensure your coverage. The first premium of $135 your first premium is $135. Items we need to complete the application process: we need a driver's license, doctor's information, any meds that you take, checkbook or bank information with routing number and account numbers. Some of the health risk, at some point in everyone's life, they become uninsurable and would be declined for insurance. This is usually due to either age, health, or habits. Once you're uninsurable, you typically can't get insurance again. If you are approved, there are 3 possible outcomes. First, you could be approved standard due to having minor or no health insurance or health issues. The second option is that we can fall somewhere in between perfect and health and uninsurable line, because these groups will work with everyone that we want to be approved. They created a category called special risk, where the program would be a few dollars more per month. In this category, you would pay exactly what someone else would pay for the same health profile. Obviously, the closer you are to the uninsurable line, the more the program will be. Think of it as like car insurance. Someone with perfect driving record would pay the same to someone, wouldn't pay the same to someone that having speeding tickets. The third option is the counter offer. They make this offer for someone that they may not have covered in the past as a last chance to get coverage. and this program comes back different than what we discussed, I'll call you and let you know. If that happens, would a few dollars extra be a problem for you?
No, that should be fine.
You may receive one or more phone calls asking to review the questions I've asked to ensure that everything is accurate on your application. In order to approve your policy, the company may need your help in getting additional records or medical information from your physician. In order to approve you, the company may send out a medical professional to conduct a physical in the privacy of your home, and of course, at no cost to you. It is important to be prepared to be responsive during the approval process. You will be receiving an email from DocuSign, or I can give you remote access through Zoom. Okay, so now that we got the application filled out, Dylan, almost everyone takes advantage of this program. You know, like you, because of the value and the cost is very small compared to the many benefits. Now, it's very rare, but sometimes a member cancels, could be a week, a month, or a year later. And we end up seeing these same people the next service period, 2 or 3 years. And they're upset because they no longer, or they're no further ahead than what they were. Most people end up wanting to reapply for the benefits. The problem is that now the program is more expensive because they're older. Worse yet, some people can't even get into the program anymore because their health has changed. The point is that this is not a short-term fix. It's a long-term solution. And the younger you are into the program, the more valuable it is. So if this $130 is uncomfortable for you right now, let's fix it while I'm here. How does everything feel?
Feels pretty good.
Okay. Then please make sure to keep this important program in place for you, for your family. And next time I see you, you'll be ready. You'll be really happy you did.
Awesome. Thank you.